Woo. Let's go. Woo. Gonna stream again at a different time so some people who can't ever participate can participate. Yay. Hello, 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 hello. 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 How you doing? I am streaming today. I decided, you know what, I have a chance. So I'm going to stream today at a slightly different time than usual so that some people can actually participate in this stream because people get mad because I always stream at the same time and it's at the times they're going to bed. So I'm trying to help include you. Oh, hang on. And I'm back. Woo! Yay! So now everyone can participate. Zodiac, how does it feel to not be streaming in the middle of the night? Well, it might have been the middle of the night for you, but time zones are a thing. That's why it always happens because usually the times that I stream for me are like 7, 8, 9, 10 o'clock. Sometimes later than that, because those are the best times for me to stream. So, you know, so some people though, they live in a time zone where it's like midnight for them, so they can't participate. So that's why I'm doing this. I'm trying to be inclusive. Can't always be inclusive, but I can try. So, you know, I'm here to answer questions, and I'm waiting a second before I actually really start taking them because I want to wait for people to actually get here. Because I'm trying to be fair. Woo. I don't know. I have to make random noises to entertain people when I'm alone. When did I subscribe? I don't even know who this is. Well, good for you, man. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream, Arlanda, Jack, I don't know. Woo! I have arrived. Hello, Turtlebox. Now I'm going to be able to actually meet some new faces probably since I'm streaming at a different time than usual. So there's going to be different people who are able to come. It'll be kind of cool. Make sure when you ask questions, whenever I start taking those, that you read the message thing because the message thing is important. Just input some random noises to make it less awkward. There's a picture I found recently that just says, like, it's two people sitting there and the caption is awkward moment, and it's really funny, and it's like my favorite reaction picture right now because it's so me all the time, every day. So it's like, you know, yeah, I mean, that's the tragedy of like streaming by yourself, is that you have to fill the void with just yourself. And I don't really want to play music because I don't want to risk getting copyright claims because copyright claims are stupid. So, you know. So here I am, and I'm just waiting a little bit just to make sure everyone who wants to get here right away can get here right away before I really start. I don't know, I'm being weird. This is me at noon. That's not noon, it's 1 o'clock. It's fine. My time. Woo! Just yourself! It is just me. This is cringe. Great, glad you think it. You don't gotta stick around, but if you want to stick around, have fun. Alright, bye. Bye, Irlanda. Sorry you don't enjoy my content. Have fun. It's 2 for me. That's cool. Give it 20 more seconds. Just looking at the time. It says that there's 1 person watching. Sure. It says there's 28 for me. Most people come to these streams. It's a sad day. Da-na-na. Oh, thanks PK for shouting out my stream in Discord. Thanks, man. All right, okay. Now I'll take questions. Go. You can ask questions if you want to ask questions or whatever, and I'm going to attempt to answer them correctly and try and keep up as much as possible, even though I'm going to get off track. This is already terrible. I love streaming, but my God, am I a train wreck to do things by myself. I legit used you as artist research in my G. Oh, well, that's nice. I'm flattered, Annie Carter. I'm flattered. Jamie is an artist. Favorite OC that you made? Well, that would depend because I have a lot of OCs and a lot of my favorites are favorites for different reasons. So it would depend. I have a lot of favorites. And then sometimes I have like certain favorites in the moment because I get in my moods. I don't know. I don't know. I don't really have a favorite. I have a bunch of favorites. So, just depends. Just keep calm and talk to us. Thanks, Mimic May. I appreciate it. Kit Kat Sword Animates asks, any advice on making Looniverse type stories, specifically keeping characters in their relationship straight, or gay or bi or pan, but you get the point. That's a very vague question. I guess just, I don't know. That's a very vague question. I guess, I don't know, because there could be a lot of ways you could go about that. It depends what kind of story you're trying to write, really. Because a Looniverse type story where it's a lot of chaos and a lot of different characters, there's a lot of, I don't know. That's a very vague question. Can you tell us about Monsterverse / what's there? I need to work on that. It's Monsterverse is it's gonna be a big little roleplay group when I can actually set it up right and shit. Where you can make monsters and make stories, and there's a big overarching story, but it's also just gonna be a giant roleplay place, and there's like a lot of opportunity and a lot of variety and stuff because I like monsters. So yeah. That's what it's gonna be when I'm actually done setting it up because I keep procrastinating. Anyway, do you have any pets? I have a few. I have a cat. His name is Pumpkin. I love him. We just call him Cat, though. He responds to Cat. I have Chloe. She's my dog. And then my stepfamily has a really, really old dog named Rudy. So, yeah, there we go. What's your favorite childhood cartoon? Asked Eon the Blue. That'd be a hard one. That's a hard one. I'm not really sure. God, what would be my favorite childhood cartoon? I don't think I had one. I'm not sure. Because there was a lot that I liked, but for different reasons. And then that's not even getting into the fact that I'm like, that I was always kind of, it was weird, like my brother was into certain TV shows, and because of the phase I was in as a kid where I thought I had to be a girl, I always thought like, well, I can't be into this stuff because it's boy stuff, but I actually like secretly would try to secretly manipulate my brother into like putting on those shows so I could watch and be entertained in the background and be fascinated with it. Stuff like Dragon Ball Z and like Beyblade and Yu-Gi-Oh and shit. But like, I don't know what my favorite show was. Those are like the more memorable shows. There's a lot of really old cartoons I liked. I liked Pokemon sometimes, but I wouldn't call it my favorite by any means. God, I don't know. Do you think you'll do more OC critiques in the future? Coffee Kits. I actually really want to do some where I actually maybe do a stream with friends, reviewing characters, because I think that would be more fun and it would be less expectations on me to like write out a script and give a detailed critique. Of course, that wouldn't be as like full out of a critique, but like the issue with OC critiques is especially with characters that are very well thought out. I have to write a whole script and read through everything and then like really like really put in a lot of work, and when there's so much stuff I want to do other than that, it's like it can be hard to really sit down and do it. So maybe an OC stream with friends would probably be more ideal if people are up for that kind of thing. So, you know, yeah. Clara Bonnen. In the OC topic, who's your favorite? Like your favorite? Just talked about this. I don't know who my favorite is. It depends. I guess some of my stories, I could tell you, like, if you named a specific story, I could probably begrudgingly pick a favorite just based on who I like to write more or who I have, like, the more, I guess, closer history with. I don't know. But, like, overall, with all of my characters, I don't know. So, yeah. I'm not sure. It's Jake the Fox. Could if you please don't spam, by the way. Or I have to block you. It's the rule. Jamie is an artist. What happened to your gems? I missed them. I just don't really want to work on them, really. I'm just so into other things right now. I've been very out of gems for a long time. So, you know, I don't, like, it's not, they're still there, and people are still allowed to, like, draw fan art and stuff if they want to. I don't really, I'm not into my gems right now, really. If you had to pick between dog or cat, who would you pick? I don't know. I guess, I don't know. I like both of them. They're both good boys and girls. I don't know. Where can we send requests for OC critiques? Nowhere, because those aren't open right now. Kit Kat started animates. What's your favorite OC design-wise? Design-wise. Design-wise? God. I don't know. Why are all my answers? I don't know. If I had to pick one off the top of my head, oh God. I like Kai. I love drawing Kai. I love drawing Lust. I love drawing, I don't know, I like drawing Sphinx sometimes. I don't know. Why are these so hard? I hope I don't annoy you by showing up every, oh, you're not annoying me at all. You don't annoy me if you show up to every stream. That's really cool if you show up to every stream. I'm very flattered. Lord of the Trash, what's the last character you made and how long to make them? If they're unfinished, you don't have to answer the second part. Well, technically, no character's done being made, you know? Characters are constantly changing and improving. And I mean, technically, if you throw a character into a new situation, it's a new thing to develop them in. So really, you never stop making a character unless, like, they have one sole purpose and that's all they are. But the last character I made, let's see. Oh God. It's a surprise for someone technically, but I made this character for Roleplay Land, for the wonderful world of Crackland. I made a character. Oh my God, is this actually like? Hang on a second. I gotta check something because I don't think this is actually going to my mic. I think this is going to my Windows laptop, and how dare it? Because it's not what it's supposed to do. No, is it not? Why did you guys hear the Windows sound? It's not supposed to go. It's supposed to be just in my microphone. I'm insulted. I don't know why you guys heard the Windows sound. You weren't supposed to hear that. Oh, goodness. I don't know. That's weird. Very strange. Okay. Anyway, back to the thing. Back to the thing. When are Chrome and Virus's new designs coming out? I need them for the AU. Hopefully soon. I have... Okay. Because my plan with that, for people who didn't know, I was redoing all of my Luniverse references for the main 10 characters. There's my idea was that instead of posting them as I make them, I would make them all first and then post them up and like actually write a bio. Their bios are gonna be a lot shorter now, because I've realized that I don't need as long a bio for them. But I'm actually, the next characters I'm gonna make a reference for are Chrome and Virus. I've made Luna, Jackson, Infinity, and Vanessa so far, and they all look so much better now. My babies are grown up. Anyway, so what's the most fun part of making a character? Oof, I don't know. Because designing them's pretty fun, but also just like sometimes just making them interact with other characters is a lot of fun. Like, that's a lot of fun. So yeah, I don't know. Oh wait, right, that other question. The last character I made was, I think, it's this character for Roleplay Crackland Land with Mitchie. It's the last one I designed, at least, because we need a character for a thing, and he's just adorable. But can't talk about that in case Mitchie finds this. It's a surprise. Anyway, so not again. Sorry, PK. I can't not talk about it. It's impossible. When are we getting a Luniverse book, comic / anything with the full story? Probably not for a long time. Luniverse is something a lot more dear to my heart, and I want to make sure I can do it justice, and I want to make sure it's like proper, because that's one that I actually want to do right. That's why there's probably not going to be a story for it for a really long time. Same with a lot of my other stories of mine. Evan Roseleaf, who's better, Jet or Sphinx? Your Steven Universe character versus Universe character. I mean, if you're asking me, I'd prefer Sphinx because she's part of Luniverse. I'm not into my gems right now, so. Wait, you're a boy? I am a boy. This is great background noise for drawing. Yeah, thank you. My favorite. Lucian Ultimate. I love taking the premise of a character and going into an RP and using their interactions to develop DOC. Oh, that's my favorite. I do that so much. Most of my roleplays are like that, actually. Because I honestly, my favorite kinds of roleplays are actually the ones that you start totally from scratch. And so neither of you have anything set up, and you just kind of go for it, and you both make it up as you go along. Those are like my favorites because there's just there's not as many limits, and they just kind of have a lot of fun. And I think maybe the only ones that has been an exception of that so far has been Crackland, because those were actually predetermined characters. But most of my role plays are like that, though, because I like doing that kind of thing. It's fun to me. It's like playing a giant improv game. Blue Zircon, ideal vacation? Home. I'm not really a traveler, to be honest. I'm just kind of like, I'm kind of good doing my own thing. I mean, I might go to Europe soon. That'll be fun. Not really happy for the plane ride, but I'll be going. Hopefully take tons of pictures to put on Instagram or something like that. I don't know. But yeah. Anyway. I love group role plays because then you can talk with so many people and make up a story together. I like them too, but sometimes those can get chaotic, which is kind of unfortunate, because you're expecting on so many other people, and then you gotta like make sure everybody's there. But yeah, I like them too when it works out. I hope Zodiac is never an accomplice in a crime because you're super easy to crack. How do you know, PK? You don't know my secrets. Anyway. I get the joke. Anyway. Have you ever been to Disneyland? Asked Donut. Yes, I have. I've been to Disney World twice. I've been to Disneyland once. More specifically, like Universal and stuff. Do you believe in astrology? Asked Mina. Or Mana? I think it's Mana. Yes, to a degree. I don't believe it totally controls your life, but I have noticed that it's very weird, the similarities between people who are of a certain sign, but I'm not really a hardcore believer in astrology, but it is very strange. A lot of people who are born in a certain time frame seem to act rather similarly. It's very strange, but you know. Gabby and Sabrina, what are coronavirus's public disguises? Like, do they wear normal clothes, or is it lose the ears and go type of situation? I don't know. With their new designs, I'm gonna have to figure that out. I don't know if they'll have public disguises or not. That's something I gotta figure out when I'm redesigning them. So, or drawing their new designs, that is. So, yeah. So yeah. Ooh, I hate group role plays. I'm in one right now, and they don't care if I'm not up at 3 a.m. They will RP without me, but it's very important things going on. Okay, I will say this, Owly Sander? Owly. Here's the thing. You got to understand, when it comes to groups, especially bigger groups, sometimes you just can't wait on everyone. It's unfortunate, but it's just kind of the cruel reality of things. When it comes to group things, sometimes it has to be majority rules. That's just the sad reality of things. So you can't always blame people for wanting to progress things because, and I have experience with this, one of the most painful things in the world is when you have one person in a group that you can't do anything without, but they're not on very often and they can't participate very often. So everyone else has to wait, and then you kind of lose your motivation to actually work on it because it's just, you know, that's the unfortunate reality with working in groups is sometimes you can't wait on everyone. That's just the really painful reality of things. It's not really always the other people's faults most of the time, you know? So that's just my opinion on the thing. If you disagree, you disagree, but that's, you know, that's just how I feel about it. I'm missing questions. Oh God. Do you ever type a random word into Google Translate and you're like, yes, the perfect name? I do that all the time, man. It's like 90% of my characters. Thoughts on A Single Pale Rose? I mean, I don't want to talk about that in case people haven't seen it, so I refrain from talking about most shows and stuff with people publicly just because I don't want to spoil shit for other people, so, you know. Me at people who get major parts in a roleplay but never come on. When will you learn that your actions? I mean, that's the thing too. You can't always blame people for not being on because lives are important. So there's really no one bad guy when it comes to group projects like that online. Unless there's like money involved, there's not really a bad guy most of the time. It's a very, very, very gray area all around. So yeah, it's unfortunate. Do you watch My Hero Academia? The new episode was crazy. I don't watch it. I've been kind of meaning to, but I don't watch it currently. Zodiac, what's your advice into getting into digital art? I can't afford a tablet, nor do I have a PC to do digital art on, but I'm taking a Photoshop class at school and I'm trying to get into it. This is my advice with a lot of things. Just dive into it. Like, sometimes with those things, there's no real proper way to get into it. Sometimes you just have to grab something and go, you know, and just try. Like, it's, you know, sometimes you just gotta go for it, you know? That's how it is with digital art. There's not really a setup to get into it. You just kind of have to have the opportunity to go do it. So, you know, that's all I can really say. How did Crackland become a thing? Well, to try and be brief about it and not get sucked in, because I get sucked in so easily into talking about Crackland. It was Mitchie, Twisted Disaster, and she bought me a Christmas gift, basically, of a character of mine, and she made a joke, or she asked me a question or something about that, and she made a joke with one of her characters, making fun of mine. And I was like, oh, ha, he'd be so mad about that. So I responded in that joking little like script thing, you know? Um, and she responded back, and I responded back, and it kept going. And it hasn't ended for like over 6 months now. So that's how Crackland happened. It was a ride. And that's why it's still going. Yawn. Why am I yawning? I'm not that tired. It's because I'm sitting around. That's why. I'm not doing anything. Peniel Barros, what do you think about magical girls? I mean, they're fine. I don't feel one way or another about them, I guess. I technically have a magical girl OC, I guess. Or kinda. I don't know. How to write relationships, and do I have to have a romantic one in my story, in your opinion? I'm aromantic at the... Oh boy. You do not, by any means, ever have to have a romance in your story. Ever. In fact, honestly, unless your story is specifically about romance, I would say, unless you want it there and you feel like it fits, don't write one. Like, if there's no need for it and it doesn't make any sense, then don't force a romance into your story. That is the best advice I could ever give you, like, anyone about writing anything. Because, like, God, it's so... You do not need to force a romance into your story to make it good. And that's how most bad relationships are written, because it's forced. You don't need to force a relationship. You just, if it happens, it happens. But if the story's not focused about a romance, you don't need one in there. So, yeah, that's my advice. As for how you write them, well, I just say let it happen naturally. That's how most relationships should happen in real life, is just kind of naturally. So if it works out and you think it's working, then you make it work, and it will work out, and it'll be great. If they have chemistry and all that good stuff. Quick question, Zodiac. Are you going to continue the thing about series? Actually, funny you ask that. Technically think I've made another part of that today. It's recently finished exporting. I don't know if I'm going to it's not going to be posted today because it goes on Patreon first. But there is technically going to be a new episode about that soon. So, foreshadowing. Woo. So, yeah. There are going to be more, hopefully. Do you have a top favorite of your own OC? Why is this such a popular question? No, I don't have a favorite out of all of my characters. I tend to... sometimes I'll have like a favorite character to write in specific stories, but over all of my stories, I have too many characters to pick a favorite. So... favorite AU to write / draw? Like, my own AU and my own stories? Because I don't really do a lot. I mean, I guess if we get technically Crackland's an AU, but that's besides the point. I liked my Human Warriors AU. That's kind of fun to think about. Yeah, I don't have many AUs. Do you have a character that you think you need to change and work on the most? Oh, that's a nice question. Let me think. Recently, I've been reworking a story of mine, my first story. I've talked about this before, but that one, I guess, would include, that's the characters that I have to work on the most, because the 3 protagonists have gotten reworked, but I need to rework all of the other characters, and just the whole story in general. I think most of the characters are going to change, but I guess that's my answer? I don't really know. Do you listen to music and imagine your OC singing that song? Not always singing, but I imagine like flipping like music videos in my head all of the time when I listen to music. That's like all I can do. It's just every time I listen to music, that's what happens. And I get frustrated if I like miss a scene in a song because I zoned out or something. And I'm like, I have to restart the whole song now. And I'm like, I'm weird. So... What's your favorite trope when it comes to writing stories? Doesn't have to be a trope to use, just a trope you enjoy seeing or don't usually get too tired of seeing. Ooh. That's a good question. God. I guess I really like, I guess a kind of character I really like is like very fourth wall breaking, like kind of obnoxious characters are always kind of fun for me. Like Deadpool, of course, is the king example of those. Those kind of characters I like. I like characters who are really blunt sometimes because I think it's funny. I don't know about specific tropes though. I'm not sure. Can't think of one off the top of my head. I've been working on this one story for about 3 years and I still have no direction and I rewrite the whole thing every other month. That's fine. Like Jaden Shepard, that's totally fine. That's like a natural process to writing things. I have had, the story I've had the longest is, how long have I had it? Since I'd say I was about in middle school. So like, almost 7 years now, possibly. Yeah, you don't rush your stories, guys. Like, trust me, stories take a long time to really think out and develop properly. The best stories usually weren't made overnight, so you know. Do you use personality traits from people you know in real life or your own traits in your characters? Not usually intentionally, which is funny because there's like some idea that you'll be taught in like English and stuff that writers always base their characters off of people they know in real life, and that's entirely not true. Most, from at least from what I've noticed, but you know, but I have noticed that there are characters I have that fit like people I know in real life a lot of the time, which is rather interesting to kind of look back upon. And sometimes when I have to figure out how to write that character, sometimes I'll use them as an idea of like, how would this person act? But normally I don't intentionally write my characters like people I know in real life most of the time. Who do you ship most in your stories? Oof. I have like, honestly, throughout all of my characters, I have like so few actual ships, like proper ships. I guess off the top of my head, Vanessa and Victoria are like my babes. I love them. I have these two characters named Jojo and Venus that I like pairing together that are cute. And they're fun. Ships. Ships. Of my own characters, I think, I don't know if there's one. I guess if I have to pick one that I ship the most, I guess it would be Vanessa and Victoria. I don't have a lot of ships with my characters, to be honest, like speculating on it. Just because, I don't know, I don't usually see a need for that. Usually my characters end up getting crack pairinged with other people because I don't really focus on romance. But anyway, so, okay, anyway, other questions. Does Teruvia have a class system? Kind of. I don't really want to get all into it now, but I mean, most of it kind of resembles a classic kind of monarchy sort of system in a way, but with differences, of course, of like specific roles and stuff, but I don't want to get totally into it right now because it's kind of complicated stuff. The disastrous life of Saki K is about a psychic and it breaks the fourth wall quite a lot. It's pretty funny. You can find it on Netflix. Well, thanks. We'll see. I don't know. I haven't been watching a lot of stuff lately. I've been kind of, I don't know why. I just, haven't been into a lot of stuff lately. Hi, new sub. Do you have any Sonic OCs? No, I don't have any Sonic OCs. Never really was that into Sonic as a kid. So no, I don't really have any Sonic OCs myself. Finding. Welcome to Random Noises from Zodiac. Yeah, while I wait for questions. What is your least favorite thing to draw and your favorite? Well, I love drawing hair. I love drawing eyes and facial expressions and just kind of faces in general a lot of the time. Um, like that. I think my least favorite is I have a hard time drawing very stiff stuff, like intentionally. I like being all flowy. I don't know. Least favorite thing. I guess it would depend. Sometimes my least favorites come from certain situations, but I don't know. What kind of shows did you watch as a kid? I watched pretty average cartoons on TV. I watched a lot of stuff on Boomerang, like a lot of older cartoons, Looney Tunes and that good stuff. I watched like Dragon Ball Z, Yu-Gi-Oh, and like stuff like that, and that was because that's what my brother liked to watch, and me as a kid tried to pretend like, oh, that's boy stuff, and I was a girl at the time, so I was like, that's boy stuff, I'm not supposed to enjoy it, but I was like actually like really fascinated, so I'd always try to like low-key manipulate my brother into turning those shows on so I could watch them, because I didn't want to admit that I actually wanted to watch it. Who's the favorite oh my god, I'm gonna have to add this to the FAQ now, because I don't know why this is such a popular question. Hang on, I'm gonna add this to the FAQ. Question. More specific. All right, there we go. That's just so. I'm gonna shrink that a little bit so it can be seen. Yeah. So yeah. Okay, there we go. So just trying to make. Do you speak Russian? I do not speak Russian. I don't know any Russian. Who's your favorite? Who's your first OC? Do she/he/they still exist today? Oh, okay. Well, this will be a tangent, but the first character I ever really had properly was a character named Star, and she was a very terribly written character. She was very bland, very boring, and she was very like very self-inserted at the time, and she had another character with her sister Eclipse. They do exist today, but they've been changed. I'm not going to go too much detail because that's a video for another day. I have a picture of them that I'm going to draw and talk about them, like all about them. But like Eclipse has changed, and okay, it's weird because Star nowadays has technically split into two different characters. Her basic design went into a character also named Star, but Star has replaced the hypothetical younger brother that Star had and has now become like a younger sister, but like a totally different personality. But like you're from Russia? Oh, that's cool. Hello from America. Hi, Russia. But yeah, so Star split on, that's where her design went. Her personality, or what little part of her personality she had, went to a character now named Comet, who's a guy who got what little parts of her personality she had, like her the few personality traits she has is like she loves her family and she wants to do good was her personality. It wasn't written very well before, but so Comet now, he's very much like has a very big hero complex. He's very like wants to save the world, wants to help people, loves his family dearly to the end, doesn't want to hurt people. So that's kind of where her personality went, and she got gender swapped. And the reason why Eclipse and Comet are now men rather than Star and Eclipse being women before was because I actually thought it would be kind of like a bit of a poetic touch because I became transgender. So it's just like, well, Star used to be a self-insert and she used to be a girl, and Comet's no longer a self-insert, but like he's just, it might be kind of poetic if now suddenly he was a guy now, because that shows that I've changed and time has progressed. But anyway, so I'm a Mexican in Texas. Hi, I live in Texas too. Hello. So yeah, that's the first OC that I made, and technically she's still around. She's just split into two people. So yeah. Have you ever given characters certain traits and mannerisms because why the heck not? I mean, I guess. Isn't that kind of how it always is? I mean, most of the time when you're first making a character, you don't always think of the story first. You usually think of the character first. So a lot of character traits are kind of for the why the hell not kind of thing. So, I don't know. Yeah, I guess. Oh, there's people from all over. There's people from Canada, from Brazil, from Croatia. Oh, I feel offensive now. More Brazilians. Hello, welcome. St. Petersburg, hello. Well, hello. Who's your ugliest OC other than Moon Moon? Oh, God. I don't know. I mean, ugly is subjective, so I'm not sure. I had a joke OC a while back named Rainbow Diamond, but I don't think she counts. I don't know. England lads. I'm just a normal American. All these people from all over the world. It's so cool. I'm just Texan from America. Bring back Moon Moon 2018. I'm from Germany. Hello. Hello. I think it's pronounced Croatia. Croatia. Okay. Cool. I can't pronounce anything, so. Latvia. Hello. It's a small world after all. I mean, that's the cool part about the internet, is that, like, you can talk from people all over the flippin' world. You can talk to people from just all over the world, and it's really cool to me that you get to do that. So it's the internet makes the world seem small. It's Brazil. Croatia? I don't know. I can't pronounce anything, guys. I wouldn't know anything about pronouncing words. Because I'm bad at it. How's your day been, Zodiac? It's been pretty good. Thanks for asking. It's been pretty good. I've been awake for about 3 hours. What programs would you recommend for beginner digital artists? I mean, I'm not really sure. It kind of depends on what you have access to, and how serious you want to get into art, because there's a lot of programs that could be used for beginner artists. I think you should look that up more and do more research on your own, because there's stuff to look up that I don't know off the top of my head, so sorry. Favorite color? Yes. Next question. Have you heard of Hive Swap? Yeah, I have. I've played the first chapter. What appliance do you use to draw? It depends on what we're talking about. I mean, on my computer, I use Photoshop. On my iPad, I use Procreate. And I use Procreate a lot. So, what's your opinion on French fries? They're the best invention ever. There is a thing that is popular and you just hate, like, from the bottom of your heart. I don't know. Not off the top of my head. What's popular that I hate? I mean, I can't think of anything I hate that's popular. I mean, there's things that are annoying. I've had, like, they're popular, but I feel like they're overrated, but I don't know. Normally when I don't like something, I just avoid it, so I don't know. Rainbow Squad or room-based magical girls? What? Wait. I don't understand. I don't understand the question. When you first started out posting art on the internet, were people very harsh in your experience? I've heard that people will be really hard on young artists. People weren't very hard on me, and I do agree. I think there's a lot of people that are very hard on young artists, like harder than they need to be. And I understand criticism is a thing that is important, but you know, when someone's young and starting out, just I feel like there has to be some kind of acknowledgement that you got to ease them into things. You can't just throw them in the 8-foot part of the pool. But like, you know, so people weren't very harsh to me specifically, and I don't think every young artist gets the harsh end of the stick, but I do believe that the ones who do are very unfortunate, and I wish that wouldn't happen, because I think it can destroy a young artist's confidence and their creativity when they're starting out and people are really harsh, like right off the bat, because they're not prepared. They're not ready to accept that kind of criticism yet. You know, they're new to things and they're still figuring things out, and they're usually young, you know. It's just, anyway. Why do people are so obsessed with warrior cats? Well, I mean, as someone who was, it's a really fascinating world. It's very, like, cool. Some of it's written very interesting, and some of it's very dramatic and makes you cry, you know. It's a very interesting world. Okay, hang on a second. I'm going to put a blanket. It's getting cold in here. Hang on. Yeah, I have a blanket now. Blankets are nice. Blankets are friendly and warm. How long will the broadcast last? I don't know. Till I decide to end it, I guess. Probably for a little while longer. Why am I'm burping. I don't know why I'm doing that. Oh god. Don't be hiccups. I hate hiccups. Bye. Gonna watch Fantastic Four. Have fun. What are your thoughts on 8 to 12-year-olds making YouTube videos? Don't think I'm being mean here. I'm 13 and making the worst videos. I mean, they can. I think they should be allowed. I mean, like, obviously there's an age thing for YouTube. I mean, technically I think like you're not supposed to be on regular YouTube if you're like 12 or if you're under 12 or 13 or 14, I'm not sure. But I mean, if they do though, I don't care. They're free to do that. Everyone's free to make YouTube videos, but I mean, there are still rules, so I can't really get mad if they get banned because of rules, but you know. How's Tyler doing? He's doing good. Make random noises to fill the awkward silence. Way. Do your random voices. I don't know. This is how I fill the silence with my voices. You make random noises. Did you ever play any virtual pet games like Webkins? Webkins was my shit, like back in the day. I played on Webkins. The only reason I ever stopped playing on Webkins was because for some reason it wouldn't let me log into my account suddenly. Like it said you, like, I don't know what it was. It just stopped working. So it made me sad. What drugs are you on, Zodiac? I'm not on any drugs. Don't do drugs. My little sister wants to know how you learned to draw hands. Oh, by the way, she's sending hello to the guy who created the purple-haired cat lady. Oh, hello, Claire's little sister. Hands, just look up some tutorials and stuff. Like, it's honestly the best advice I could give, because there's actual tutorials made to teach you that kind of stuff. So go look it up. It'll teach you stuff. It'll be cool. Zodiac, are you pure? I mean, in my personality, or like pure as in I haven't gone and done the smeck stuff? Because if it's the latter, then yeah. But I don't know what you mean. Don't do drugs, do slushies. Are you ever gonna make another major story like Lunaverse, Gem Things, Crackline, whatever you tell us, and tell us about it? You probably are, but any sneak peeks would be very welcome. I have tons of stories I could talk about. I don't know if I want to get super into like detail with all of them. Some of them I'm trying to be a bit more vague on. You don't understand. I don't understand who you talk to. Oh, I'm sorry. I know I talk fast. It's because I'm trying to not drag things out too much, but I'll try to be a little slower. But I have other major, like tons of other major stories. So like that I could talk about. I have just off the top of my head, Colorful is one. Naturia is still technically one. I have one called 36 that I need to continue working on. I have what else? God, why am I blanking? I have Heaven's Proxies, which is getting the one that's getting redone. I have a lot. You're an artist and a writer. Yes, I am. I like writing, which is weird because I don't really like reading that much, but I like writing. It's weird. I don't know. I'm weird. Are you excited for any upcoming movies or shows and stuff like that? I mean, a lot of movies. I'm a movie person. Lots of movies. What's the rest of the main cast's relationship with Luna like? What do they think of her? And that'd be a lot to explain for one question, and because I don't want to like take up too much time with one question, I think I'm gonna pass on that. Sorry. Because to get into like the specifics of everything is just gonna take too long. Do you have a favorite movie or TV show? Shoot. I don't know. Fantastic Mr. Fox was like one of my favorite movies. TV shows? I'm not sure. I don't know. As you can tell, I'm really bad with favorites because I like things for different reasons. So, I don't know. Zodiac, does Gabriel know Kai, since they're both good boys? Yes, they're both in Crackland, so yeah, technically they do. Where do you get your ideas for poses and dynamic shiz? References and playing around with it and exaggerating things. Just you think about what you need and you go for it. Hey Zodiac, when are Jay and Xavier getting their portraits? Probably not for a while, unfortunately. Sorry. Do you find art fun or stressful? I find art fun. I've never really found art stressful. That's why I do it so much. Honestly, if you find art stressful, you're probably not going to do it very often. What was your favorite subject in school? I like history and I like science, I guess. Oh, God. Oh, God. I can't. Oh, goodness, yawns. It's because I'm not doing anything. I'm just sitting here in a room talking to the internet. Oh, no. Who's your favorite YouTuber? Markiplier. I admire the hell out of that man. I love doing art. It's just I heard from a lot of people that art can be stressful. I mean, it can, depending on what you do. Sometimes commissions can be stressful. Usually, I don't find drawing itself stressful. What would happen if your worst character and your purest of pure beings are to meet? I mean, that's all of my stories. Every time. Oh God, I was louder than I wanted it to be. Would you consider doodling art? Have a history of littering my assignments? Yes. It's like 90% of my art. It's just doodles. Doodles everywhere. It's just not on YouTube because I don't post those. How would I post doodles on YouTube? How much you care about the World Cup? My family's here watching and shouting stuff. Sports aren't really my thing. I'm really not a sports person. Psst, you should play a game or something if you want, because that might be fun maybe if that's cool. Not on a Q&A live stream. I'm not going to be able to answer questions if I'm focusing on a game. But, I mean, I could. I just, like, my computer's terrible with recording games and stuff. So, it's a Q&A live stream. And also because no one's talking to me on stuff, so there's that. Oh, I'm yawning again. Oh, God. This is just unprofessional. The 40-something people watching. When will you and your friends be playing Cards Against Humanity again? Well, we'd want to. I'm sure we could soon. Just not on this channel. Because there's people who know about this channel. I don't really want them to see me playing Cards Against Humanity. It's just too offensive. Zodiac, are you tired? Not really. I'm just not doing anything. So my body's like, eh. So, what game do you love aesthetically? I don't know. There's not many games that I play for the aesthetic, so. Do you have characters that you don't like to draw, but you love he or she? Oh, that's a good one. God, there are some characters I have. Sometimes more formal characters are not so fun for me to draw. I don't know why. There are a few characters I have that I'm just kind of like, meh. I don't know if there's any specific ones I can think of, but there's just some characters I have though that I don't like drawing as much. Like, honestly, I guess Xavier kind of falls in that category. I'm not always super hyped to draw him. I don't know why. It's probably just because he's not as expressive as some of the others, and he's a lot more angular, but I don't know. Oh my god, again. God, I'm gonna scream. I'm gonna scram. I'm gonna scram from everything. What's your favorite genre? I like fantasy and fiction, that kind of thing. I like darker stories too, a lot. I like, yeah. I like comedic drama. I like dramedies sometimes. Comedic stuff. I like parodies. Have you ever had a character with a design so complicated to draw that you had to change it? Actually, yes. That's part of the reason why I was so excited when somebody redesigned Chrome and Virus, because I was realizing I don't draw them enough because I just don't want to draw their designs. So their new ones are hopefully going to be a lot more fun to draw. That was the same with like Jackson's old outfit. He's got to have a new one now, but like, yeah. Why do people love characters who are absolute jerks or chaotic drama queens? Because they're fun. They're like really fun to watch and see happen, because usually in real life you avoid those kind of people. So to watch it in a way where it doesn't affect you is just a lot more entertaining. Normally the relationship people have with those kinds of characters is that you love to hate them. So, you know, yeah. Can you tell us more about Seven Sins and a Baby? I mean, I can if you ask questions about it. I can't answer everything because that's when I have to be really specific about what I reveal. Because, yeah. How to spice up a story? I mean, depends. Like, depends on what story you're doing and what you need and what you feel like is lacking. Literally King George. We love watching Be a Big Baby. Exactly. Sometimes it's just fun to learn about the stupid people. Have you ever heard of Helix, a game anime with claymation? Oh, well, that's cool. Oh my god, I'm yawning again. What? Ah. What's the son's favorite beverage? I don't fucking know. That would never be something that would come up. I mean, because, I don't know. Can you give me a random art prompt? Trains. Just trains. There you go. There's your random art prompt. Trains. Were you taught how to draw or are you self-taught? I'm like 90% self-taught. I've had art classes in the past, but there's like one of the ones I remember doing, there was an issue where like for the first few times it was fine, but it got to a point where it's like I had it so figured out that I just kind of went ahead. And it was, of course, like a step-by-step. You do this, and then you do this, and then you do this. And it kind of, I think I just sort of grew out with that, with how fast I was going. But most of what I do is self-taught. Most of which. I had an art class before that I did with some other people. That was fun. But that was, well, more basic stuff. I don't know. Who is the lady in the mask you drew? She or he, I don't know, looks like Lust, but their eyes are different colors. He. I mean, it's Lust, but we're not going to talk about that. Have you ever heard of Gorillaz? They're my favorite band. I know what Gorillaz is. Not really a huge fan, but I know what they are. Got 2 characters I've been working on for 4 years, so that much I know. Their favorite stories, and how to take their coffee. And there's all my other OCs. That's relatable. What's your birthstone? I mean, September, Sapphire. Yeah. Have you heard of Cave Town? That sounds familiar. Probably not very well versed in it. Why am I so tired right now? I was just like, suddenly my energy's just gone. Having like a sugar crash or something. Fave Warriors arc. Oof. I mean, I like the first few books a lot. I like some of the characters in the New Prophecy arc and the Fourth Apprentice arc. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, a lot of them intertwine so much, it's hard to choose. Hey, Zodiac, I just want to say thank you. I absolutely love your art, and you inspired me to create my own art and do so much. Oh, well, thank you. I'm glad I could. What's your favorite sin to draw and or to write? Well, that would be 100% Lust. I love drawing him, and as much as he has a tendency to go on flippin' monologues, I love writing him so much because he's like my outlet of being sassy and like offensive, because that's the kind of character he is. And I had fun with making his character because of what I made him for, technically, like why I made him what he is. But it's fun. What are some phases you went through with your art? Like, how did you drew? Oh, let's see. The shading with black phase. Shading with like black and white. Let's see. Anime was a big one. Like everyone has an anime phase of some kind. Drawing. What else? Drawing heads too big. Too like not really balancing out the eyes, like making the eyes too big. The awkwardly hide the hands phase so you don't have to draw them. Yeah. Thoughts on BTS/K-pop in general? I mean, it's okay. Not really that into it, I guess. I don't know. What's the weirdest dream you had? Oh boy. Okay, I know. The weirdest dream I've ever had was this dream I had. It was actually a Warrior Cats dream, oddly enough, like most of the time, but the weird part had nothing to do with Warrior Cats. So, God. So, it was in Warrior Cats, and this was around the time that the series of, like, Dawn of the Clans was coming out, which was, like, the prologue to everything, basically. And, I was like doing that, and for some reason I was not clear sky. I was Grey Wing, the main character in those books for the most part. And I was going around, and I think like I was reenacting some of the stuff that happened in those books, even though I didn't really read much of it because I just couldn't get into it. Which is weird because there were some things that I was totally wrong about, but also some things that I was totally right about, despite knowing nothing about the story, which was very strange. But anyway, I was going through the motions, and for some reason it was all set on like my elementary school playground, which is weird. Oddly enough, this was before I discovered I was trans, but so there's some stuff that could be interpreted in a way, but so like I was running around doing the little story or whatever, and I distinctly remember the weirdest part about that dream that sticks out in my mind is I was walking through a field of tall grass when I hear this little like thump 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 thump, like something's running at me, and of course I get like alert, and I'm like, what is that? And out of fucking nowhere, this camel running on its hind legs just charges me and starts like pummeling me to the ground. Like it had a vengeance. It was just beating the shit out of me. And I don't know why, because it just did that and then it ran away. And it was so out of a left field. And like everything else in that dream made sense and was consistent except for that damn camel. And I was so confused. It was like, it's the best. It was like, it's the weirdest dream I ever had. It's like the funniest dream. I remember in the dream, after that happened, me as a cat or whatever just laid there for a second as like Grey Wing or whatever, just trying to grasp what just happened. And I think that's the closest I ever got to being self-aware in a dream. It's like my favorite dream ever. It was amazing. It was beautiful. Did I ever make up with the camel? No, I don't know why that camel hated me so much. It was just it was something else. But you know, it happened, and it's probably goes in history as like, I have weird dreams. I have strange dreams that reoccur. I have dreams that have like actually like really interesting plot lines. But that is like by far the weirdest dream I've ever had in my life. It was so weird. Oh god. Out of all the animals, a camel. I know! It was so weird. I didn't understand anything. It was something. It was something else. Come back to your Zodiac getting beaten by a camel. It just hated me. I could feel the vengeance as it was just pummeling me with its hooves. It was running on hind legs too. Like of all the things, it was just so weird. I don't know. It was strange, and the rest of the dream continued like normal too. Like it just finished out, and I woke up, and I was so confused. Were you at least in the desert? No, I was in just a field. Like a field of tall grass. It was so weird. I'm trying a train driver. Thanks, man. No problem. Oh, goodness. Camels are scary, though. I mean, they can be. Especially when they're pummeling you to the ground as a cat. So you're like an eighth its size. Oh, goodness. It was a time. It's my favorite dream I've ever had. It's the weirdest and my favorite. It's random as heck. Camels are spoopy. See, it's funny because, you know, people always talk about how it's like, well, your dreams mean something, like, you know, whatever. So, like, that dream, I understand part of it. Like, it's funny. I used to go visit a counselor a while back. I don't go anymore, but like, I used to visit, and I was talking about that dream, and she was saying like, okay, so maybe it's like the fact that it's like something you're into that you were into in 5th grade in middle school, or not middle school, in elementary school that you got into in 5th grade, and you're a guy, so that might be a representation of your transgenderness, and it's like, and it was it was set on your elementary school playground, so that must like mean that's where it spawned. And then I talked about the camel, and her face just like, yeah, I got nothing. Like I have no idea. And I'm like, I don't know. It's just, it was a thing, and it's my favorite. It's my favorite story. The day that Clear Sky from Warrior Cats got, not Clear Sky, Grey Wing from Warrior Cats got the shit beat out of him by a camel. Besides Rebel Gems, do you have any AU for another show? Also, who is your favorite gem out of the crew? Not really. I mean, I have an AU for Warrior Cats, where everyone's humans. It's kind of about it. Hi, how are you today? I'm good. How are you? Oh, my favorite gem. I don't know. Again, I'm so out of gems. I can't really. I have no idea. I haven't thought about it in a long time. Still 40-something people are staying consistent. I'm impressed. Are y'all having a happy Father's Day? Happy parental guardian day of your father figure? Opinions on apples? I mean, apples are nice. I don't know. I don't really have a deep, complex opinion about apples. I think I'm gonna end this at, unless things actually get like really intense, I don't know, I'll end this at like 1:20, or not, in 10 minutes. I mean, I don't know what I'm saying. Oh my god, my dog is seeing the chat moving and it's doing such a funny face right now. Detroit becoming human, what's your opinion on it? I haven't seen anything related to it, so I don't have an opinion. Seems cool. What's the oldest dream you remember having? I remember one was, I have no idea, man. I couldn't tell you. I don't know what order my dreams happen. I just know that they happen. I had a dream where my sister stole M6 non-existent boyfriend, or my non-existent boyfriend. She's 22. Okay. Cool. What's your favorite color? Yes. I like colors. Colors are nice. Any other weird dreams? I mean, not that I can think of. Not any, like, specific ones that stood out as weirder than the others. Snacks? Snacks are nice. Snacks are cute. Except when they want to kill you. Then they're scary. Why you start drawing, and how did you start making stories and characters? It just happened. I mean, I've been drawing for like since I can remember, and I got serious about it in middle school. Same with characters. I mean, I just got into stories because I like making stories, and then I started getting serious. I don't really know what triggered that. It just kind of happened. Do you have a favorite Luniverse character? Vanessa, probably. I like Vanessa a lot. Do you have any Zodiac OCs? Yes, I have a whole cast of Zodiac characters that I need to redo. I refuse to post them until I redo all of them and make them look nice. Fave ice cream? I'm gonna go basic bitch and say chocolate. Base reveal? I've done it like twice or 3 times. What's your Hogwarts house? I don't know. I've always said Ravenclaw, but I'm not really a Hogwarts person. Any small zodiac stories? Not off the top of my head. Oh, actually, you know what? I do have one, kinda. One time I got lost, but it was really funny because it was like a field trip during elementary school with like a summer camp type thing. And I was at the back of the line, and we all wore matching shirts so we didn't get lost or whatever. And we were walking out of the pub-up golf place. We had a whole line. For some reason, they didn't put a teacher's aid at the back. It was only at the front. So I swear to God, I turned, I looked at something for not even a full second, and I looked back and everyone was gone. And I just started running and crying because I was lost and I couldn't figure out where they went or where they were. And I was like, did they leave me? And this lady, I was saved when this lady like caught up to me or whatever, and she said, hey, I saw a group with those shirts or whatever. And obviously stranger danger, but I was desperate. So I was like, okay. She's like, hi. She's like, look back, and she's like, hey, I'm helping out this kid or whatever. So she brought me to the bathrooms where they were all like doing a bathroom break. So I got caught up again, and thank goodness that lady was nice. But she what was funny though is that the lady who was running that thing basically said, like, I asked if I could get water at least because I was just lost, and she was like, fine, be quick. Like, she was mad at me for getting lost, even though technically I'm her responsibility because I was like a 8-year-old kid. That lady I think got fired too because she lost me, and also I think she was just generally kind of an ass. But that is a fun story of me getting lost. It's traumatizing. Have you ever tasted cream soda? I have not. Have you ever eaten ketchup chips? No, and that doesn't sound pleasant. Have you ever trashed a story, or at least put it on hold for a while? I mean, I put tons of stories on hold all the time, but I have never really trashed a story, I don't think. Really, if I don't work on a story at all, I guess it's the closest I could say to it being trashed, but I don't know. There's very few stories. I don't think I really have any stories that I actually consciously said, yeah, this is shit, and then just trashed it. I guess maybe one. I don't even know if you'd call it a story. I don't know. Ever tried corn-flavored soda? No, and I think I'd throw up. I'm picky. How do you come up with new stories / characters? It just kind of happens. Most of my stories are just based on spur of the moment what ifs, you know. I can't tell you how most of my stories were made. Luniverse is like one of the only few that actually had an idea. Seventh of the Baby came about because I thought of a funny title and I was like, I want to work with that. Most of my stories though just kind of happen. Do you have any advice on making OCs? That's way too vague of a question for me to answer because there's so much that goes into it. You can never trust somebody who tells you like this is how you make an OC because there's too much that goes into an OC to have there be one way to make an OC. Just saying. Can we talk about Princess Neon Cringe? We will later when that video's up. Wink, wink. Anyway. Will we ever solve the mystery of Amatrain's eyes? Perhaps never. Any more adoptables planned? Not recently. Not anything recently. Do the sins of a boss? I mean, technically Pride's supposed to be the boss, but Lust honestly tells Pride what to do most of the time. Because Lust doesn't take a shit, so it's usually just like, I'm gonna do my thing, you know? So that's about it. Ever watched Ballmaster 9009? No, I don't think I've ever heard of that. I saw Amateur in a story the other day. Cool. Give it like 30 more seconds. You know, I think honestly this is probably a good place to end it. So, thank y'all for coming and listening. Glad I could stream at a different time for once. So, yeah. I'm glad I'm gonna end it here. But yeah, thank y'all for coming. Bye.